Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the news at 7. I'm Rosalind Giles.
Gunshot rang out around 7:15 tonight. That's when Lieutenant Tushberry of the Columbus Investigation Unit says he was called here because of a shooting.
A week after Alabama's primary runoff election, and voters are eagerly awaiting results for one race. According to this Columbus police report, it was around 4:30 this morning when those two delivery men walked in on the action.
Two little cute kids right here who are in their costumes. Tell me, what is your name, and tell me the costume that you have on.
All right, Parker, always good information there. Thank you very much. We're going to take you back now to Jose Zozaya standing by in our newsroom with more on last night's runoff election results. Jose?
And what I found so interesting is that he is cooking up the food that I grew up on and still enjoy to this day. We're talking about buffalo fish he has right here, also the crappie.
All right, so get ready for that wet weather next week. The polls are officially closed across Georgia for the state's primary runoff election. On the ballot today in statewide races, on the Republican ticket is governor, lieutenant governor, and secretary of state. On the Democratic ticket is state school superintendent, and locally, Columbus City Council District 10 and Muskogee County School Board for District 2. Here in Muskogee County, City Council at large, candidates in District 10, Amy Bryan and John House, will battle it out for Skip Henderson's seat, who is now mayor-elect. The winner will take office once the election results are certified. For School Board District 2, Mike Edmondson will go head-to-head with Bart Steed. Voter turnout is expected to be low as normal, but voters say it's important to vote in all elections. In Harris County, the runoff is putting a newcomer and school board seat holder from 6 years ago against each other. The District 2 school board seat will soon be vacated by current board member Morgan Marlowe, who decided not to seek re-election. Phoenix City Police are releasing the photo of a man wanted for questioning in a recent homicide. Cordarian Long has a warrant out for his arrest on a firearms charge. Police say he's also tied to the ongoing investigation into the death of Kumarcus Thomas. You may recall Thomas was shot and killed at his home on Gateway Drive in Phoenix City, July 3rd. 3 suspects are in the Chambers County Jail tonight, accused of robbing a bank. It happened this afternoon at the Farmers and Merchants Bank in Lynette, Alabama, around 12:30 Central Time. Investigators say the trio walked in, demanded money, and drove off before police arrived. Shortly after the car description was released, officers made a traffic stop and arrested 22-year-old Lamartrez and Cordero Story and 25-year-old Jacoby Phillips. They are charged with first-degree robbery. A local Columbus woman and her daughter teamed up, creating a new way for your baby to rest at night and during the day. The Slumber Pod is a portable privacy sleeping pod that allows your baby to sleep in any type of environment. The creator of the pod say the idea came about from their little one waking up at night and being able to see the parents and wanting to stay up the rest of the night. Switching gears a bit now to the weather, a cloudy day in the valley and light showers for some, but overall not as hot as normal. Not too bad today for election day.
No, not bad.
Jared says at first when he got locked up here at the Muskogee County Jail, he started making bad decisions. But he says things started to turn around for him when he started to read the Bible and he discovered his inner peace. Exposure to all devices like cell phones, iPads, a computer, or television affects the children's hormones. It suppresses the release of melatonin, which makes children less sleepy.
Columbus police officers tell us the driver of that crimson or burgundy pickup truck that hit Ari Phillips left the roadway, jumped this curb, striking Ari Phillips and leaving her lifeless body in the grassy area here.
In 2002, when Jared Ingram was 19 years old, he met the love of his life, Sierra, while both were in the military at Fort Gordon near Augusta. After happily dating for 3 months, they tied the knot.
When we got married, things kind of took a downhill turn. We started arguing a lot.
Immediately?
Immediately. Actually, our wedding night, we had our first argument.
Jared says their disagreements were over changes his wife wanted to see after saying I do, like cutting off ties to other women, including his relatives.
Was there ever any physical abuse?
No, never any physical abuse.
Jared and Sierra separated in 2006. Their relationship got much better as they co-parented their 2 children, according to Jared. By 2009, they divorced, but in 2012, things really took a turn for the worse. Sierra found stabbed to death in her Cherokee apartment near Lake Bottom Park. Jared indicted and charged with her murder.
When I talked to her last and spoke to her last, I was coming by. She was getting ready to move to Indiana. I was coming by with the kids just to pick up some things. I know my daughter wanted her LEAP pad.
Jared describes that last visit as uneventful.
And biggest thing, when we were leaving, she was standing on her front stoop, waving us off.
Days later, Jared found himself facing 4 charges, including murder and aggravated assault.
They put me in a little holding cell.
Jared says at first, when he got locked up here at the Muskogee County Jail, he started making bad decisions. But he says things started to turn around for him when he started to read the Bible and he discovered his inner peace.
15 months later, he was released on bond and recently went to trial where his now 12-year-old son testified.
He said that he saw Mommy alive and waving when we were leaving.
And there's other evidence.
It was just ridiculous. There's a watch with DNA other than mine, male DNA other than mine, that was found 2 or 3 feet from her body. And they didn't pursue that. They didn't try to identify that.
Jared is now remarried and working a full-time job. He says his only hope is now to regain custody of his 2 children.
Welcome to the revolution.
Students across America galvanizing.
We are all tired.
Their mission to stay safe in the classroom at an unprecedented time in the United States. According to the Washington Post, more than 187,000 students have been exposed to gun violence since the Columbine shooting nearly 2 decades ago.
I try not to think about it as much. Yes, there is the occasion, oh, I may get shot.
Blocking it out of her mind is how 8th grader Brittany Wheeler copes with the grim reality of possibly coming face to face with a gunman at her school.
Because, of course, I will think about it the rest of the day. I will get scared. I will be afraid to go to school.
So far this year, 23 schools in America have come under siege by an active shooter. In February, 17 students were shot and killed at Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Rising senior Raya Lynch.
My dad always tells me back in their day, they didn't fight with guns, they fought with their hands. So there was never that, there were never like guns. So in my society, I think it's just tough.
Last month, the board approved a plan to create its own new campus police agency, hiring 21 full-time police officers, 1 part-time officer assigned to the Public Education Center on Macon Road, and 5 additional positions, including supervisors and an investigator, at nearly $4 million. We asked Brittany and Raya's parents to come in along with other moms and dads to give us their opinions about the plan.
With a show of hands, if you could raise your hand high enough so I can see it, to let me know if you support this plan.
Yeah, initial stuff.
Initial stuff.
Initial stuff.
But that means you're trusting that they are going to expand on this.